even with everything that's going on in the world, this is still a great place to be.
Hello everybody, what does the market have in store for us in 2021 with regards to interior furnishings, decoration? It's a reflection of the Spanish property market in general here on the Costa del Sol. And with me today, I'm delighted to have Rebecca Want, who is the manager of Marbella Interiors, one of the leading interiors companies here on the coast. And she's with us today to talk about what the market was like for her in 2020 from a slightly different perspective. Obviously, we can talk about real estate and visitor numbers and tours on the ground and sales, but she's here to talk about her sector and whether it's been booming or dead quiet or whatever. So how was 2020 for you? Was it miserable or was it okay?
It was really busy.
Was it?
We were really busy, yeah. I mean, even when we were in the full lockdown, construction, decoration, things like that, we were considered essential.
Of course,
yeah. Nice. So we could carry on working. So what was happening is the big developers were finishing their promotions. Yeah,
because they didn't stop. I think they stopped for like 2 weeks in the whole year.
We had 2 weeks where nobody did
Yeah.
anything, and then they carried on. So large developments that maybe people had bought off plan 2, even 3 years ago were coming up for completion.
Yeah.
I work closely with quite a lot of estate agents, so their clients who were coming up for completion, they were putting in touch with us. They couldn't travel, they were stuck at home.
Yeah.
So we were super busy, backwards and forwards, getting, we've been set up for a while now to have quite a huge, big website.
Yeah.
And everything is set up so we can work online.
So you can do it online. So you're used to dealing with people from abroad. Because I always think, God, how can you choose things? But I guess you've got it off to a fine art.
Yeah, and I very much, I have, obviously there's the catalogue photos, and every time I use an item we always have photographs taken. So you've got every item, you've got images. And
so you can see it in situ, how it looks.
In situ, how it looks. Obviously we work from plans, I measure everything up, make sure it's all going to fit. Yeah. And we did a lot of installations ready for when people were hoping they could fly. Well,
this is the interesting thing, because we've obviously referred clients to you as well, and by the way, Rebecca does a fantastic job.
Thank you.
But the clients, I would have thought buyers, although they get the call from the developer or the lawyer saying your property's ready in 2 weeks, I thought they'd go, well, we're not going to use it for a few months, so we'll just wait. But actually they were dead keen, weren't they,
absolutely.
to just get it ready, so that when they could fly, when they could travel, when they got the green light, everything was ready for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's the joy of this place. I mean, you've got COVID crisis and all the things, Brexit and all the things that are going on.
Yeah.
This coast will never lose its shine. It's still a lovely place to be.
As long as the sun's still shining.
As long as the sun's still shining. But even that's one of the things. Even though you can have 3 days of rain and then the sun does come out again. You can tide it over. So everybody that's bought a place is not thinking, oh well, I'll just leave it.
No, they're itching to get
here. And when they get here, they don't want to go shopping.
Yeah.
They want to be able to arrive. It's done. And one of the things that we very much offer is that you arrive and excuse me, you have your kitchenware, your beds are made. So you literally drop your bags, you're on holiday.
Yeah, because a lot of clients I've found as well in the real estate world, you take them into a show home and they go, I want it like this, I want everything, I want the TV, the knives and forks. You can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. We do everything. I work with a TV company, so you can have a TV sorted.
Because a lot of people are fearful.
Yeah,
they think, oh my God, I'm going to have to buy my sheets, I'm going to have to do this, I'm going to have to get everything hooked up. You, I know from experience of working with you that, if you see a problem in an apartment or a villa that's being completed,
very much so,
you'll just deal with the developer and get it sorted.
Yeah, I've got a client at the minute who we've been doing the installation. I mean, he's in a country now where he's in Switzerland, so he can fly over this weekend and visit.
Right, yeah.
But it's cold and there's no heating. The heating's not been working. Right. So I've been the person because he's not here.
Have you got
so
your dungarees out and got on your hands and knees?
I've been physically, I tried pressing all the buttons and that just didn't work. I couldn't understand the manual. Yeah. So no, I've been the person that's kind of knocked on the door every morning going, have you fixed the heating yet? Have you fixed the heating yet? Because there's no point in me furnishing this beautiful apartment and they arrive and it's 6 degrees in there and everybody's miserable.
So would you say is that one of your kind of competitive edges, that you see things through?
Yes.
In spite of problems along the way,
yeah,
because a lot of like shops, they'll just dump the furniture, knock on the door, whack, there you go. But they won't be actually caring about whether your apartment's warm and whether you've got heating and stuff like that.
No, I mean, I've worked for interior design companies where we've turned up to do the installation, and we've walked in and they've said, "Oh, the electricity's not on." They've literally
Just walked
away. We've done it, and I've done an installation in with the Marbella interiors where we've got there and we were on the 3rd floor and the lift wasn't working. So my poor guys, I nearly killed them. I was like, no, we are installing this apartment.
Yeah.
So they carried everything up the 3 flights of stairs. Another company arrived at the same time. They literally shut the van door and drove away.
Really? Okay.
And I think because I don't just come from an interiors background, I come from a real estate background where I see.
So you understand the snags,
everything that comes into it, and it's
what can
about
go wrong.
Exactly. I don't just want to sell somebody furniture.
Yeah.
I want to be that little final step that takes from having that great dream of seeing something off plan to actually walking in and going, yay!
Exactly.
All those little, if your water heater's not working.
Yeah.
So it's all those little things. I'm there anyway. Let's get it sorted.
Yeah. I know you're dead practical, hands-on. Yeah. That's why I like working with you. Well, one of the many reasons. Who is your typical client? Is it is it someone who wants a furniture pack? Is it someone who wants designer kind of high-end stuff? Because your slogan is interesting. It's designer-inspired interiors without the designer prices.
Yes.
Explain.
Well, I very much felt that there were kind of 2 options open to people. Either a furniture pack,
which everyone's kind of got the same. Yeah.
And it all matches, it's all a bit matchy, and it's all quite basic.
Yeah.
And you walk in and
but
you
cheap.
go, but cheap.
Yeah.
And you walk in and you go, I've got a furniture pack.
Yeah.
Or you go shopping, and the retail experience here is not what it is in other countries. You've got Corte Inglés, you've got a couple of big furniture stores. That's kind of what you're stuck with.
Yeah.
Or you've got your very high-end interior designer, which is beautiful but phenomenally expensive. And I knew that there was a way of offering in between, that everything is included, but it still looks lovely. It reflects your personality. It's got all your little extras and your artwork and your ornaments and your throw cushions and things like that. And it was a balance between the 2, that you've got that feel that you walk in and it's all very much done, but it's a package price.
There's one thing I've noticed as well about your work, and you've mentioned it to clients in my presence, is that you don't want to create 2 schemes the same.
No.
You would hate that if someone said, oh, hang on, I've been into another one of Rebecca's around the corner.
Yeah, I'd hate for somebody to walk in and say, oh yeah, Marbella Interiors did this.
Yeah.
It all looks the same. I want it to reflect the personality of the owner. One of the things I always do is guide people to the website, and if people say, can we have a package detail? I do have set packages, but I've never once done one of the set packages. So those are, or even if it's just a lamp.
So those are like a guide. So
they're a guide, they're a starting point. And somebody will say to me, well, I really like the sofa in that, I like the sideboard in that, I like the lamp in that, and we put it all together so it all matches. And the program I use for the quotes is great in that it's all online, so I'll send it through to you. Every item's got a photograph and it's all priced up, and people say, well, can we just change that light? We just change that light, and it changes it online straight away and things like that.
So sometimes you'll provide 2 or 3 options for like a sideboard, and then and then the price adjusts.
The price adjusts automatically depending on which one they choose.
That's really cool. So you're not having to go backwards and forwards hundreds of times. No. Obviously, there's an element of that, isn't there, to get it right?
Yeah, and again, it works really well in that I can be on the phone to somebody. We can be both looking at the quote because it's all set up online, and we can very much talk through. We can be looking on the website. So and I enjoy it. I enjoy getting it right. I like that feeling when I've got it right for someone.
I guess with your kind of can-do attitude, the speed of response is important, because if you're anything like me, if I'm online looking at furniture or anything online, whether it's on Amazon or whatever, I want it now. I want it ready. And again, what I found with you is that you don't overpromise. You won't say to someone, oh yeah, I'll have it in for tomorrow. You'll be very straightforward with them, but you'll get it done.
I'll be very honest. I will achieve what I can within the parameters of the country and the environment that we are within.
Where it's all coming from. And
if somebody says to me, we want to be in 3 weeks, I'll say, right, this is what I can get you.
Yeah, because I guess some suppliers, or you might have a little bit of stock, or some suppliers are on a shorter lead time.
I hold minimal stock,
right,
just for emergencies.
Okay. Why is that? Is that to drive your costs down, or? I
want to keep the costs down for people. I want to be able to offer more choice. So if I have a stock of 4 sofas, a grey, a beige, you're
going to want to flog them, aren't you?
I'm going to try and flog those. It's normal. That's what happens. Whereas I want to be able to say to people, right, here is your. For instance, with the sofa people I use a sofa manufacturer that's in Valencia. They're great. They're great value for money. They're great. They're the sort of sofas that you will have for the next 20 years. You're not buying a sofa that's going to fall apart. It's a proper homemade, handmade sofa. but a very good price because it's made locally.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 books that thick of the different colours of fabrics.
Right.
And I can't stock one of each. And there's a catalogue of 12 different designs,
Sure.
each of which can be in a 2-seater or a 3-seater or a chaise or a... And I want to be able to offer that selection.
Just to go back, sorry, I'm jumping a bit here,
No, it's
but
fine.
in terms of the what the designers can offer, because they've all got the glitzy showrooms, mind you have here now.
Well,
you know, but can you get the same stuff that they can? Do you use the same suppliers?
I use a lot of the same suppliers.
Yeah. Okay, but
Yeah.
your prices will be cheaper because they're.
I stick to every supplier has a recommended retail price.
Yeah.
It's a recommended retail price.
Okay.
So some people mark up.
Yeah.
Some people do a bit of a discount.
Yeah.
I like the transparency.
Yeah.
So I stick to that recommended retail price,
Okay.
and I don't charge extra for the installation.
Yeah.
I feel that's our job.
Yeah.
It's part of it. You know, you buy furniture from someone, and a lot of furniture retailers, they will just deliver it to your door.
Okay. Yeah.
Our selling point is that we install
You unpack it and you.
we unpack it and we present it. And yes, I don't have this huge shop where you can wander around and choose everything individually. And some people may see it as a downside that a lot of things are through catalogue and things like that. But the added benefits of the service
Yeah.
is hopefully our selling point.
Got you. When do you think we're going to return to some sort of normality here in Spain? Because obviously you've been living here for how many years?
I moved to Spain when I was 9.
9, crikey. So 10 years you've been here then?
Yeah, at least.
So I mean, I'm thinking Q2, when the skies hopefully kind of open again, we'll see tourists back here. And
yeah, the vaccination rollout, I was talking to somebody this morning, I think sort of April time,
Yeah.
people will start having vaccines, people have the confidence to travel,
Yeah.
the weather will be better, people are guaranteed the weather.
I'm finding
hoping.
people in Northern Europe that I'm speaking to just want out, don't they? Just either for a break or to move. Or
Yeah, like I said earlier, even with everything that's going on in the world, this is still a great place to be.
It is.
You know, if I've had people say, I've got a client at the moment who said, I'm in lockdown, I'm going to fly over and I'm going to be in lockdown over there.
Yeah, because it's a better place to be.
Because it's a better place to be.
Are you expecting a kind of mini boom then? Because obviously once the skies do open, we in real estate, we're talking to a lot of clients about buying properties and they're all itching to get here, and we're thinking, oh crikey, if they all come at once, we're going to be in trouble. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Are you expecting the same, or are you kind of dealing with your people now anyway?
I'm dealing with people now anyway, the people that had already bought. That it's coming up for completion and things like that. But I have a funny feeling it possibly won't affect me as much until maybe another 6 months down the line when things come to completion, if people are buying new things that they're off plan. But I think people are really reassessing what they want in life. So people that maybe in 5 years' time were thinking of buying something, they're going to do it now.
It's interesting because we've talked about the fact that you set yourself up with your business to be speedy, but also to offer people like a glimpse online of what you can offer. So really good professional photographs of all the different schemes you've done. So with the virtual showroom, I know you can pick and choose and you can have a look at all the different lounge designs and dining designs. But you've also put together this studio.
Yes.
So is that because you're expecting more people on the ground? Or?
Yeah, I think there's going to be people who are just desperate to get here. And are possibly, because of the way things have worked, quite often people will come and look at buy a property and then they'll say, we'll sort out furniture down the line.
Yeah.
I think people want to get everything done. So I very much wanted to set up a place where people could see, yes, there's not one of everything, but it gives an idea of the quality and the comfort that you can achieve without spending a ridiculous amount of money.
Okay, so if they want that reassurance of being able to come and have a chat and see what kind of what you do. I have all the fabrics,
the rug samples, the curtain fabrics and things like that.
You have the coffee machine as well?
And the coffee machine.
Great, right, I'm there. In terms of you and your style,
yes.
Are there any particular types of schemes that you enjoy doing secretly, or are you going to give us the vanilla politician's answer here?
No. I mean, I enjoy it when people have a feeling for what they want, and I like it when I really feel that I've got it. That's what I get the joy from. I did a client, a lady up in Los Flamingos, who had a very specific idea of what she wanted, but initially it was hard to actually figure it out, and it took quite a lot of toing and froing and actually getting it wrong on my point. But then when we nailed it, and she is so happy.
I've seen that
and
property.
It
it's a
so
great
nice.
It's a great
and
property.
actually I enjoyed it because it was a bit of a detour. You do everything, things go in fashions. You have the greys and the whites and things like that in fashion, and now we're more going towards the warmth and the golds and things like that. Whereas with hers, it was quite a lot of natural fabrics and rattans, and it was really fun to do.
And that particular client was kind of used to, back home where she's from, was used to dealing with designers, so she was happy to pay you a retainer, but you kind of said, no, that's not our business.
What was really nice from that as well, from an ego point of view, is that they had a very posh designer doing their house in London.
Right.
And they actually said to me, you have been more helpful and more useful and more reliable.
Wow.
And we've actually become friends, as you know, as a follow-on, because they really felt it just was dealt with. Which was nice.
That's great.
Which is really nice.
So, anything we need to be watching out for the year ahead? Any design or home interiors trends? I've noticed, sort of looking around this place, that it's really quite eclectic.
Yes.
But I've noticed kind of there's
a lot of Art Deco coming back,
which I really love. I can't swing the camera around and show you, but there's a beautiful sideboard over there that is I want in my place. It's like a 70s bar. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, we've gone through it. We're coming out the other side of the white lacquer, grey, very neutral, very functional, which is lovely. And it's been nice. I've been slowly eking in. And what's really nice now as well, you had everything was gold, or everything was chrome, and we're kind of allowed to mix it now, and it brings that again. It personalises it a little bit more.
And I guess also, what you have and how much you spend depends on what you're using the property for. So if you're buying a 2-bed apartment for rental and you're only going to use it 2 or 3 weeks, are you able to guide a client and say, look, that isn't a hard wearing fabric, and we need to look at this? And
I'll be honest with it, but especially if somebody's got a reduced budget, I'll say, right, well, let's spend more on your bed and the sofa, the things that are going to get the hardware. Let's get quite a cheap side table. No one's going to touch it. It's not going to,
it's not going to get bashed
it's
about.
Where to spend the money. That still looks nice and it all comes together. And absolutely. And what you're going to use personally is going to be very different what you're going to be using as a rental apartment and things like that.
And that's where your background in real estate helps, because you understand the needs. Excellent. Listen, thank you so much for joining us. It's been really great to get your take on where we've been, hopefully where we're heading to, and to get a little taste of what's going on out there. So thank you. No doubt we'll reconvene at some point in 2021 to see how your year has unfolded and whether it's been as you expected. Hopefully we'll have some people here.
I was going to say, it's so nice to actually talk to a human.
Who are you?
Not just through a screen.
Exactly. But no, thank you, Rebecca, for joining us.
You're very welcome.
We will see you soon.
Thank you for inviting me.